Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Offensive Penetration Testing course, Hackers' Main Tools. My name is Alejandro Guinea, and I'll be your instructor for today's lesson.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the episode number 10, Wireshark and tcpdump. The learning objectives is to understand the basic of Wireshark, tcpdump, and understand how can you actually use Wireshark through the terminal or the shell. So let's get started. Let me just up in here the Windows machine we have been using. So first of all, let me just go real quick again through seeing the difference between a connection between netcat and ncat. Again, netcat will be plain connections. I mean, no encryption. Let me just fire up here my tcpdump listener. Let me just first finish the connection here. Okay, so I'm listening and I connect. Oh, sorry. So I would like to see the chat going on and how ncat can actually take connections from that chat. And I will just type tcpdump here, /x, upper X, capital X, as you would like to call it, Ethernet 0, port 1234. And if I say an unencrypted message, hi, hello, how are you? As you can see, hello, how are you? It will be in plain text. So if I actually add encryption to this with ncat, remember that we saw before we can actually add encryption. Let me just copy paste the command real quick here. And ncat listener port 444, and I will connect here with the ncat.x file -v. So I'm connected here again. I will start the listener here again with port 444. And if I say, hello, how are you? I will just, I didn't add encryption. Sorry about that. And remember, how can you add encryption? Just by typing simple --SSL here. And I will again fire up here. And I connect, and if I see hello, how are you? I don't see the message anymore. I just see gibberish here and non-readable information, because at the end it's all encrypted. So this is how you can actually use tcpdump with several other protocols. Don't get me wrong, I just did this so you can recap and see how we actually did this in the last video, but just so you have the TCP, I'm sorry about that, the TCP background of this. So can you actually do this in Wireshark? Yeah, you can. Actually, let's just fire up Wireshark. Let's just minimize this and extend this. Let's fire up Wireshark, shall we? Wireshark from the terminal, and it will display this. First of all, we can put two different filters: the capture filter and the display filter. Display filter will be useful after you capture the packages, because at the end you just want to display certain information. So if you are not sure what you're looking for or what protocol might be, might be the dangerous for you. Maybe capture all the traffic in the Ethernet or in the interface you want to capture. In this case, Ethernet 0. But if you're actually, this will create a lot of noise. So if you're actually sure what traffic are you looking for, maybe a capture filter with minimize the amount of information you will log, and will maybe make it easy. It will be easier to look through the trace, and see if you have something going on there. So, for example, a simple capture filter will be port 80. As I want to capture, and I'll leave the interface here, as I want to capture only HTTP traffic. So I go here, I start it up, as I haven't go through any web page, this doesn't display anything. But if I hit, for example, my Windows machine, oh, there you go. You see traffic here, and you can actually see the payload of the packages. For example, here you can see the payload over here, and if you want to go further in the trace, you can actually get a lot of information from this. So this is way cooler than tcpdump, or maybe not cooler, but more, easy to see, easy to the eye. But at the end, as I told you before, as you go further in your penetration testing career, you will see that most of the time you end up using only the terminal. You don't have access to any graphic user interface. But yeah, if you have access to a graphic user interface, Wireshark is a great option for you. But let's see if we can actually see some. As we're not encrypting information, I want to see, just as we did in tcpdump, if we can actually capture some login information. For that, I have another virtual machine going on over here, which is a Debian machine, nothing fancy, just holding an HTTP login page. Again, nothing fancy. And if I go here and I put, I don't know, admin and password, maybe admin and this is a test, and I log in, this of course will fail, will not log into anything, but the packet will be captured. The packet will be captured. So now that I have the credentials, I can go here and apply a search filter, not a display filter, which is different. And I go here and I put here, I want to look for a string in the packet list, no, in the packet details, because the packet payload, and I can just put the word, this is a test, to see if I can find anything. And yeah, sure enough, the password, which is the field, this is a test. There you go. And the user is admin. So here we have the entire thing for item, for example, key password and value, this is a test. And for item user, the value is admin. So yeah, you can actually do that in Wireshark, and as you can see, it's really easy and it's really intuitive to actually do it. We did nothing fancy here. We just apply a search filter. Again, you can apply capture filters, display filters, but you can actually search for packages. And the powerful thing about Wireshark is you can even search for the hex value, regular expression, display filter. You can do a lot of stuff here, and you can search in the packet details, in the packet list. Maybe you're trying to look for a specific TCP session. You can use the packet list or the packet bytes, whatever works for you. As you can imagine, this will also not happen on HTTPS. So nothing new I can add here. But as I told you before, most of the time, again, you will be using only the terminal. So for that, Wireshark thought it through, and it created an application or a command called tshark. If you have a Wireshark, then you have T-Shark installed. So let me just close here. I don't want to save it. I don't want to save it here. And you can actually use T-Shark as we did with tcpdump. What is it, tcpdump better than T-Shark, or T-Shark better than the tcpdump? I cannot actually say it. I will be biased because I've been using tcpdump my entire life. But I don't want to say that T-Shark is not better than tcpdump. It's whatever you prefer. Maybe T-Shark, as it comes with Wireshark, has a better integration with the Wireshark graphic user interface. But I have to tell you, I have never had a problem actually importing whatever I capture from tcpdump to and then check it out on Wireshark. At the end, just create a pcap file and that's all. But then again, you can argue that, and that will be perfectly fine. Whatever works best for you, whatever you like better, go with that. That doesn't. I mean, I don't have any problem with any of those commands. So, but for the example, let's start the listener with T-Shark, shall we? T-Shark, as simple as that. -v, so we can actually see the payload in the package. The interface will be again Ethernet 0, and the filter, or the capture filter, would be TCP port 80, and that's it. Okay, we will ignore this because we're in a test environment. And again, admin, this is a test. And oh my god, we have a lot of information here. Just as it's like we have open all the flags in the Wireshark graphic user interface, but we already open it here. So as you can see, for a single login, there's a lot of information. But guess what? Guess what, folks? You can actually pass this through a grep command or whatever other command works best for you. Remember that we saw in Wireshark that all the data, or at least the data that was used as the login information. I mean, username and password is located in a field called for item. Well, we can grab that here. So let me just go all the way down to or the final of our packet capture, and we'll grab that. I know this is not the fancy solution for this problem. You can apply a WK or set or whatever command works best for you. Maybe you're not trying to apply such a simple search command, but in this case, a simple grep works just fine. So let me just give you here how will this work. For item, and it will start capturing again the same thing. I didn't change anything from the previous command. I just add the grep for item here, and I go to the web page again and test, or sorry, admin, this is a test. Login, don't save. Oh, what did I do wrong? Why did I do wrong here? Oh, I see what I did do wrong. Sorry about that. For item. Oh, I also form item. No, for item. I'm sorry about that. Form, from the the form, the login form, and we start capturing again. Admin, this is another test. Don't save, and then there we have it. Admin, this is another test. So yeah, as simple as that. We already captured that. Again, this will not happen on HTTPS, but you get the idea. You can actually apply a lot of bash commands through your T-Shark capture, but you can do the same with tcpdump. Again, don't get me wrong. Nothing, none. I mean, tcpdump is not better than Wireshark or tshark, and the other way around. It's just how familiarized are you with the tool and the commands and whatever works best for you. I guess at the end, the magic is it applying the display, capture, and search filters, because that's where you can actually find useful information from the package you capture. And maybe you're applying a sniffer in your company because you're actually trying to get someone that is connecting through a specific server, or maybe is leaking information or classify information. That will come really handy to you applying all these filters. And since again, as a penetration tester, you will be using most of the time the terminal, getting familiar with tshark or tcpdump, and with all the bash commands you can apply over that package that you just capture. That's perfectly fine. Even you can actually capture the packages through the terminal and then save it to a pcap file, because maybe you want to actually search for the strings or the commands in a more graphic user interface, and then just open the pcap file over Wireshark, and that's again perfectly fine. Can you the post assessment questions? Can you actually use Wireshark without the graphic user interface? Yeah, you can. It's called tshark, and you can actually run execute commands over the terminal. Can you pass Wireshark through a grep command? Yeah, again, using tshark. I know tshark is not the exact same thing as Wireshark, because they are two different tools, but tshark is like the non-graphic user interface version of Wireshark. If that's the case, I mean, if you can actually pass Wireshark through a grep command, which we already said yes through using tshark, can you look for specific strings, maybe passwords and usernames? Yeah, you can. Definitely you can. And other useful strings you may like. In this video, we saw several techniques to capture traffic. We executed commands in both tcpdump and tshark to check the traffic in the terminal. Supplemental materials you can use. Actually, you can go to the Network Plus guys from the CompTIA certification house, and you can also go through any book or reference in the CCNA certification from the Cisco folks. So, and any other material with Wireshark has a web page where you can find a lot of commands, a lot of filters, and actually a simple Google search. At the end of the day, guys, Google will be your best friend in your penetration testing career. And actually, when you go through the ICP exam and lab, you will see that only Google can save you. There's no actually reference that I can tell you right now that will contain everything. There's no book that will contain everything. Only Google. You will have to Google stuff that you will not see in this course. You will not see in any other course, because at the end, that's what pen testing is all about. Imagination. Looking forward, in the next video, we'll cover some basic knowledge of Burp Suite. That's it for today, folks. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon.